Imagine a Galaxy S Ultra that doesn't just survive your day, but crushes 2 full days of heavy use. After 6 straight generations stuck on the same $5,000 mAh battery, the Samsung Galaxy S27 Ultra might finally be the phone that breaks that cycle. A new leak claims Samsung is now actively testing next-gen silicon-carbon batteries for its upcoming flagship, and the Galaxy S27 Ultra could be the first big winner. If the tests go well, Samsung's 2027 Ultra could deliver a huge leap in battery life that makes today's top phones feel outdated overnight. For years, the Galaxy S Ultra lineup, from the S21 Ultra through the S26 Ultra, has been capped at $5,000 mAh. Real-world endurance did improve a bit each generation, but mainly thanks to more efficient processors, better software management, and adaptive displays. The actual battery technology stayed basically the same. Samsung has admitted this. Earlier this year, Sung-Hoon Moon, executive VP and head of smartphone R&D, said the company has been a bit uninnovative on the battery side. He confirmed that Samsung is working on silicon-carbon batteries, but stressed that the tech still hasn't passed Samsung's very rigorous validation standards. That's why this latest leak is so important. Tipster Schrödinger Intel says Samsung is now testing silicon-carbon SiC batteries in real model designations, targeting next year for serious trials. In other words, these aren't just lab prototypes anymore. They're being built into actual devices, and that strongly suggests the Galaxy S27 Ultra is on the shortlist. So what makes silicon carbon such a big deal? Traditional lithium-ion. Batteries use a graphite anode. It's safe and proven, but it limits how much energy you can pack into a small space. That's one reason phones have been stuck around $5,000 mAh for years. Silicon carbon batteries change that by mixing silicon with carbon in the anode. Silicon can hold far more lithium ions than graphite, boosting energy density. In simple terms, the same physical space that currently holds a $5,000 mAh lithium-ion cell could, in theory, fit a silicon-carbon battery closer to $10,000 mAh, without making the phone thicker or heavier. We've already seen early versions of this in real phones, mostly from Chinese brands. In 2023, Honor announced a phone with a silicon-carbon battery, proving the concept in the wild. Then OnePlus pushed harder in 2024 with its Glacier batteries, rolling silicon-carbon tech into most of its recent phones. The results have been impressive. In lab tests, the OnePlus 15 with a silicon-carbon battery lasted just over 25 hours on average, about 11 hours more than the Galaxy S25 Ultra, and roughly 9 hours more than both the Galaxy S26 Ultra and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. That's not a minor gain. It's almost half a day of extra usage compared to today's top flagships. Now, Samsung seems determined not just to match that, but potentially to beat it. According to Schrödinger Intel, the company is testing silicon-carbon batteries rated at $12,000 mAh, $18,000 mAh, and even $20,000 mAh in real device designs. Those numbers are extreme, and you shouldn't expect a Galaxy S27 Ultra advertised with a $20,000 mAh battery. More likely, Samsung is stress testing the upper limits to find the right balance of size, weight, capacity, and safety. Even a conservative approach could be huge. If Samsung simply doubles effective capacity in the same space, say from 5,000 mAh to the 8,000, 10,000 mAh range, the Galaxy S27 Ultra could deliver the biggest battery life upgrade we've seen in smartphones in a decade. But there are serious trade-offs. The first is battery degradation. Reports highlight that silicon-carbon batteries wear out faster than traditional lithium-ion. The leak claims Samsung's test cells are failing around 960 full charging cycles, while Samsung's commercial target is 1,500 cycles. For many users, 960 cycles can still mean roughly 2.5 to 3 years of use, but Samsung aims higher for premium flagships that people may keep for 3 to 5 years. The second issue is expansion. Silicon expands and contracts more than graphite as it charges and discharges. That swelling can make the cells physically unstable compared to standard lithium-ion packs, raising safety concerns and complicating slim phone designs. This is especially sensitive for Samsung. After the Galaxy Note 7 battery crisis, the company completely overhauled its safety protocols and introduced some of the strictest battery testing in the industry. One major failure was enough to change Samsung's attitude toward risk forever. That's why Samsung and Apple too have been slower to adopt silicon carbon, even as Chinese brands push ahead more aggressively. For companies selling hundreds of millions of premium phones, reliability and safety are non-negotiable. Put together, this leak and Moon's comments suggest Samsung is done watching from the sidelines, while rivals boast about day-and-a-half or 2-day battery life. But it still refuses to ship anything that doesn't clear its own strict standards. So what could this mean for the Galaxy S27 Ultra in practice? One possibility: Samsung goes all in and makes the S27 Ultra its first mainstream silicon carbon flagship, marketing dramatically longer battery life as a core feature. In that case, expect a big but carefully controlled jump in capacity, not the crazy 18,000 or 20,000 mAh test numbers, but enough to clearly outlast the S26 Ultra. Another path is a hybrid approach, with a silicon-enhanced chemistry that improves energy density over current lithium-ion, but is tuned to reduce swelling and slow degradation. Think of it as silicon light, still a noticeable upgrade, but designed for stability as much as for raw numbers. There's also the chance Samsung decides the trade-offs aren't ready for a mass-market Ultra yet. Silicon carbon might then debut in a more experimental product before eventually reaching the main Galaxy S line a generation later. From your perspective, the key question is, should you wait for the Galaxy S27 Ultra just for the battery? If Samsung can ship a safe, validated silicon carbon battery that effectively doubles capacity, the S27 Ultra could become the new benchmark for smartphone endurance, capable of heavy gaming, constant 5G, long camera sessions, and an always-on display while still making it through a second day. If the durability issues aren't fully solved, though, you might get a phone that feels incredible in year one, but loses peak performance faster than today's lithium-ion flagships. That's the core dilemma Samsung is working through, delivering an immediate wow factor without compromising long-term reliability. What does seem certain is that the era of battery stagnation in the Galaxy S Ultra line is ending. After 6 generations stuck around 5,000 mAh and relying mostly on efficiency tweaks, Samsung appears ready for a real hardware leap. Brands like Honor and OnePlus have already proven that silicon carbon can work and deliver real gains. Now, with this leak and Samsung's own public statements, it looks like the world's biggest Android phone maker doesn't plan to lag behind much longer. If the Galaxy S27 Ultra does arrive with silicon carbon battery tech, whether in a full or refined form, it could kick off a new battery arms race across the industry, pressuring Apple and others to speed up their own next-gen battery efforts. It all comes down to one question inside Samsung's labs. Can silicon carbon batteries be made safe and durable enough to pass Samsung's toughest tests while still delivering the massive capacity jump users have been waiting for? If the answer is yes, the Galaxy S27 Ultra won't just be another upgrade. It could be remembered as the phone that made true all-day plus battery life the new standard and turned $5,000 mAh flagships into yesterday's news.